Hi, I'm David Ewing Duncan, and I'm the moderator of a panel that just finished here at BioFuture on regulations and rules for the life science industry. And we have a couple of panelists here, and I'd like to ask you guys just to help sum up what we talked about for those that weren't there. And one of the probably big themes was around the new IRA regulations, drug price controls, and what's going on with that, and do we need that, or is it going to stifle innovation, which is one of the arguments against having price controls? So maybe you guys could just tell me a little bit about what you said on the panel.
Sure. I mean, you kind of touched on this about will it stifle innovation? I mean, that's kind of what it's all about, right? And
Right.
I think it's not so much of do we need regulation? I think everybody on the panel kind of acknowledged yes, but to what degree? And what are going to be the implications of that regulation in terms of innovation as it goes forward? There were some different points of view, I think, in terms of how big of an impact this IRA legislation will have on investment and what that means for future innovation. Actually, one thing we didn't talk about, which I think is interesting, is this the tip of the iceberg? Is this something that is just the beginning and it's going to lead to even more draconian legislation, which, in my opinion, this is not that big of a deal, but I fear what may be coming. And so that...
Slippery slope.
Slippery slope, well put there, yeah.
And we didn't get a chance to talk about other regulations that also have a big impact, like for accelerated approval, for example, really has an opportunity to hurt small companies, or the TRIPS waiver, where from a patent standpoint could really hurt us, or the SEC now saying that they would like somebody with cybersecurity expertise on the board, as well as a climate change expert on the board. So there's a lot of different regulations and rules that are coming at the industry in addition to the IRA. So even if the IRA isn't that big a deal, and I agree with you that, and we're certainly not unified on that. Some people think it's a terrible for the industry. Other people don't think it's so terrible. But the slippery slope argument is a good one.
And we kind of frame this as a discussion. It's really between society and a really important industry. How much compensation do you need for taking the risk that the industry takes, which is considerable given the amount of money that's needed to fund a drug. And we didn't get to too much of this, but we also at least touched on the future of regulation. It will always be with us. It actually has always been with us in the history of humanity. Rules around how we kind of govern important things in our society. So we got a little bit into AI, a little bit into gene editing, a couple of other things, but I'll stop there and thank you guys very much for a fantastic panel.
All right. Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.